You can't see me might be a catchphrase, but soon that could be the reality for John Cena. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling for your Friday night SmackDown review, coming to you late out of date on a Saturday afternoon. But forget about the time, it's John Cena time. Cena returns to the WWE, and he let us know that this is not his final return. This is not the final run for Cena. But he did say it is coming close, which is very bad news. He said he's approaching 47 years old and we might not see him much longer. So if you have seen enough, it's good news for you, because it doesn't look like Big Match John is going to be around too much more. But John Cena wasn't the only thing on this show. We did have Jimmy Uso. Looked like he wants to rejoin the Bloodline, so who knows what is happening with this Bloodline story. Paul Heyman says it could go another 6 years. I think it's went about 6 months too long, but it's still going on, and who knows, is Jimmy Uso going to reunite with his cousin, with his little brother? Is he going to be going on his own? Is Jay going to come back? We don't know. We do not know, but I don't even think WWE know, because it's so confusing at the moment. Jimmy Uso said he did it for Jay. Now he wants to rejoin the Bloodline. Make it make sense. And of course we got Charlotte Flair shoved down our throat, and she done one of the biggest botches I think I've seen in recent times. Came out moving at 1 mile an hour, then throwed this kick at 1 mile an hour, and somehow missed Io Sky completely. Missed Io Sky by about 10 fucking mile. And tell me that Io Sky is not going to be a transitional champion. Anytime you've got Charlotte Flair hanging around the locker room, you know that belt's going to be around her waist sooner rather than later. That plastic waist, that plastic face is going to be taking the WWE Championship, Women's Championship, should I say, away from Io Sky. You just know it is going to happen. But we'll kick off with the opener of the show, and that was Big Match John. Cena came out, and Cena gets a pop like no one else can. You talk about people that are genuinely over. Cena is the man. I'm sorry, Roman Reigns is not. Roman Reigns is being pushed as the top dog right now, but the fact that some people out there honestly believe that Roman Reigns is a bigger star than John Cena, your head is completely lit. You do not know what you're talking about. Cena is the last true star that WWE created. That is a fact. Now, have they created other people that were over since Cena? Yes, but in terms of actual stars, true stars, you draw the line at Cena. Now, there has been other people. They did a decent job with Batista. They did a decent job with Randy Orton. They've done a good job with CM Punk. And they're doing an okay job with Roman Reigns. But undoubtedly, Cena is the last big star this company created. And you can see that every time he comes back, he gets a reaction. Whether it's positive or bad, and let's be honest, when was the last time he was getting bad reactions? I mean, it's been years since Cena got booed. He came out. He said it feels good to get a chance to be part of SmackDown. He thanked the fans. I mean, I like Cena, but I do feel the last 3-4 years of his runs in WWE have been a bit lame. He just comes out and thanks the fans. It's a bit repetitive, and he just does shoot promos. We don't really get to see Cena in any more storylines. He's constantly breaking kayfabe, but I'm just not a fan of that style. I like Cena, appreciate Cena. SmackDown is a better show with Cena, not denying that, but I'm just not a big fan of the kayfabe promos that Cena does these days. When was the last time he was actually in a storyline? It's just like he comes out and buries people, whether it be Roman Reigns or Austin Theory or whoever, like tonight with Uso. He says that the wrong Uso quit, and that's supposed to be edgy. That's supposed to be saying that Jay is the better Uso, and I believe that he is, but can we just get some sort of storyline going here? Why does it need to be breaking kayfabe? Why is it, trying to get a gotcha moment? No, I don't want a gotcha moment. I want to see John Cena do something good. I didn't think tonight was good. He mentions he's going to be wrestling in India, so he's going to have his first match in India. Cena says he's thankful for this. He's going to be at Payback tomorrow, and he's going to be the host of Payback. I was hoping we could get a match, but it turns out he's just going to be the host. He says that the fans have gave him everything, and he's going to give back to them while he still can, and he's going to start tonight. Cena says he's going to have the chance to go face to face with We don't get to finish his sentence, so we don't know who he's going to go face to face with, because out comes Jimmy Uso to booze. Jimmy Uso not happy with the fans, and I don't blame the fans. He screwed his brother at the title, let's be honest. He can try and wrap it up and say that he was trying to protect Jay, but he screwed him at the belt, let's be honest. It was jealousy. It was pure jealousy from Jimmy Uso not wanting Jay to be champion. Jimmy gets in the ring and he tells Cena that he is the main man now, that he is standing in the ring with, you know, a wrestling great. No one's buying that. No one really believes that Jimmy Uso is better than Cena, but Cena says the crowd are a feisty bunch because they're booing Jimmy. Usos say the fans don't boo him. What are you doing here, John? Jimmy claims the people came to see him. Jimmy says they didn't just come to see him, they came to find out why he betrayed his brother, but he already told us why. So again, I think this is just WWE running out of things to do with the bloodline. He already said 3 weeks ago the reason he done it is because he didn't want Jay to turn into Roman Reigns. So what's he talking about? They're just repeating the same crap that they were doing last month. And he says he'd save his brother over and over again. He did what he did, and he'd do it again at SummerSlam because he loves his brother and he doesn't want his brother to be like Roman Reigns or Cena. He says that Roman Reigns and Cena are exactly the same. The only difference is Cena does what he does with a smile on his face. I don't quite understand where Jimmy's going with this. I don't think Cena and Roman Reigns are alike at all. The fans start chanting Cena. Jimmy says that Cena and Reigns only take. Cena says he's got to stop Uso for 2 seconds. Cena gets closer and says he knows Uso has a lot in his mind and he's been trying to make sense of it. Cena says he's been wanting to say this to Jimmy for 3 years. The wrong Uso quit. Cena tells Uso to take that. I just didn't get this. Cena says he's been waiting 3 years to tell Jimmy this, but Jimmy Uso only quit last month, so why would Cena know this 3 years ago? Why would Cena want to tell Jimmy this for 3 years when Jay only quit last month? It makes no sense. Makes no sense. Uso doesn't like it, tries to hit Cena with a super kick. Cena catches it, spins him around. AA, attitude adjustment, middle of the ring. Cena celebrates, takes the shirt off, shows his body, still in good shape. Got the bald patch in the back of his head, but whatever. Big match John rocks that well, and that's it. Salutes the crowd, and there's John Cena's return to WWE. I mean, it's good to see Cena, but I'd be lying if I said it was a good segment. I was interested, don't get me wrong. When Cena's on the screen, you're interested, right? You're paying attention. But that doesn't mean it was good. I mean, I thought it was okay at best. It wasn't great, but at least I care. Now, speaking of caring, let's talk about the next match. I did not care about this at all. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller versus the LWO. Before this, though, we did get Waller hyping up Payback, and he spoke a little bit about John Cena. He says, Theory laughs and says he beat Cena at WrestleMania 39. Waller hypes up that they will do at Payback, even though they're not taking on Cena at Payback. So, like, I like Grayson Waller. I'd like to see Grayson Waller versus Cena. Will we get that? I don't know. But what we did get was Grayson Waller picking up the win over the LWO. Santos kind of sacrificed himself, and then Grayson Waller hit the stunner on Santos. So Waller and Austin Theory win. We know at Payback, Waller is going to host the Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes. Maybe Cena will get involved in that. Who knows? We then get Mia Yim talking to Adam Pearce in his office. She thinks she's ready to go. She just needs something. But before she can say anything, Jimmy Uso storms in. He basically takes over the conversation. Mia Yim can't believe it. Mia Yim's like, what are you doing? And Jimmy's like, yo, please, I'm talking here. He wants to know why Pearce wants to speak to him. And Pearce tells Jimmy Uso that he can't be going around being rude to everyone. What is wrong with you? Uso then looks at Pearce, accepts his scolding, I guess, and then leaves. It's like, what the fuck? What do you mean you can't be mean to people? This is wrestling. He's a heel. Like, this is pathetic. When, like, could you imagine GMs calling in Triple H to the office back in the day? Oh, you're being too mean to people, Triple H. You need to stop it. I mean, what garbage is this? Seriously. I didn't understand this whatsoever. Adam Pearce telling Jimmy that he's being too rude to everybody. Like, what the fucking kind of garbage is this? Seriously, this was a horrible segment. Horrible segment. We then go back to the ring. Bobby Lashley comes out with the Street Profits. I just didn't really get this. Lashley says that real recognizes real, great recognizes great. And that is why they're getting together. Then the Street Profits act goofy for like 2 minutes and they tell Lashley, "We have 2 words for you, partner. Thank you." So it looks like this is the beginning of this feud. Lashley says that they're coming after gold, they're coming after power and control. Well, don't be going after the Universal belt because Roman Reigns doesn't like to share that one. So if you want gold, you're probably going to have to go after the tag team titles. Speaking of tag team titles, up next with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the LWO. Is there a worse run in WWE at the moment than this Kevin Owens Sami Zayn title run? This is abysmal. I don't know why anyone would be interested in this. In truth, it fucking sucks. Kevin Owens sucks, just a big fat bastard, and Sami Zayn has sucked ever since he left the Bloodline. So, yeah, no, this tag team run at the moment is garbage, and let's be honest, we all know how it's going to end. It's going to end with probably Kevin Owens turning on Sami Zayn, and we'll get another feud there, or maybe it'll be Sami Zayn turning on KO. But either way, the tag team run is garbage. I'm not interested in it. I'm not enjoying it. And it sucks. Aye, that's pretty much it. We move on backstage. We've got Jim Uso ready to leave. AJ Styles walks up to him and confronts him how he disrespected Mia Yim. They argue. They start shoving each other. Solo Sikoa rushes over. He knocks AJ to the floor. Jimmy's also on the floor. Solo looks down at Jimmy. Solo tells Jimmy he's not out of the Bloodline until he says he's out of the Bloodline. Jimmy jumps back to his feet and says there's nothing Solo, Roman Reigns or Paul Heyman can tell him to do. Jimmy then walks out with his bag and he leaves as Solo looks on. I thought this was an okay segment and it made sense because, yeah, Jimmy Uso did disrespect Mia Yim and now you've got AJ Styles sticking up for Mia Yim, sticking up for a woman. You've got a man defending a woman. At least this was realistic. If this was on Raw, could you imagine like Dominic Mysterio or Finn Balor, one of them having to defend Rhea Ripley? No, it would never happen because Rhea Ripley is the dominant one. She's the masculine one of that group. She's almost like the fucking leader that controls everything. It'd be more likely the other way. It would be Rhea Ripley going after a man for disrespecting someone in her group. So I like the fact that we had AJ Styles defending a woman in his faction. It made sense. It was realistic. Like I said, we don't get that with like the Rhea Ripley shit. So it was nice to see realism with AJ Styles having to basically call out Jimmy Uso for the way he disrespected Mia Yim. I like that. It reminded me of fucking the way it should be. You know, you got a man defending a woman's honour here. It was. I know it's something minor. I know it's something little, and a lot of guys probably wouldn't even agree with that there, but at least it made a bit of sense, I thought anyway. We then see AJ Styles. After this, he says he's going to knock Solo's teeth down his throat tonight in this match. We have Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson and Mia Yim show up. Anderson and Gallows advise AJ not to get involved in Bloodline stuff. Yim disagrees and says, don't listen to Gallows and Anderson. AJ says no, they need to be reminded that this is the house that AJ Styles built. AJ Styles storms off and Gallows and Anderson watch on and Mia Yim nods in approval. I mean, it's okay for Mia Yim to basically tell AJ, yeah, you go after the Bloodline. At the end of the day, it's going to be AJ Styles, the one who gets his ass whooped, not Mia Yim. And what is the point of Gallows and Anderson at this point? I wouldn't be surprised if they got released, seriously. We then have a promo, in-ring promo with The Miz and LA Knight. I enjoyed this. I thought it was pretty good. I thought The Miz always comes off good. The Miz is such a good talker. And while I do enjoy LA Knight, sometimes you do see him stuttering. Sometimes you do see him getting his lines wrong. Or he'll start with like something and quickly change the sentence because it's not what he wants to say. He wants to try and change his mind. You can tell that as charismatic and as good on the mic LA Knight is, he's not the finished article. I don't think, at least not in WWE, whereas The Miz, he might be a bit more generic, he might be, you know, a little bit more stale because he's been around for a long time, but The Miz very rarely misses. The Miz could, pun intended, The Miz could just talk and talk and talk, and I don't think he'd fuck up once. He could do a 10-hour marathon podcast and everything he'd say would be on point. So this is a really good promo for The Miz and LA Knight. LA Knight says how he's fought up the gutter from roach-infested apartments, the very bottom, working dirty jobs, relying on payday loans, blah, 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 blah. He says that he agrees with The Miz that LA is not on his level. He says that LA is above his level now. Miz talks about how he also had the same advantages. He says that LA Knight was on a reality TV show called Hero, and he got eliminated first. He couldn't even be his hero. LA Knight then says that the Miz took advantage of all his advantages, but says he doesn't blame him for that. I thought it was a bit of a dumb line, to be fair. Why bring it up if you don't blame him for it? It made no sense. He then says that everything the Miz does, he's not the star. Even like Miz and Maurice, he says that Maurice was the star of the show. LA Knight says Miz was only on that show to be a baggage handler, carrying around Maurice's bag that holds your tiny balls. I thought it was pretty good, your giblets. So that was a decent line there from LA Knight. LA Knight then says that he is going to give Maurice a broken husband after tomorrow at LA Knight. Miz rips into LA Knight a bit more. He says he's a failure, and then we get a brawl basically. Miz hits the skull crushing finale, and then when he's leaving, LA Knight gets up and attacks him from behind. So it was a good promo. I enjoyed this. I liked it. Good stuff. Probably one of the matches that I'm most looking forward to at Payback, to be completely honest. Alright, then we got Bayley versus Shotzi. I put up a poll saying that I think Io Sky will be a transitional champion, and I stick by that. Now, there's a lot of reasons why I think this, but I'll quickly just name a few. First of all, this is her first time being a champion. She's not got that main event status in the women's division that other wrestlers have. She's in a throwaway faction at the moment with Damage Control, and she's not even the leader of that faction. It looks like all the attention seems to be on Bayley, and then you've got to factor in that she's on the same brand as Bianca Belair, who is the woman that has been pushed probably the most by WWE over the past couple of years, undoubtedly. And there is also Charlotte Flair, someone who's just a serial gold winner in WWE, someone that can't seem to go 2 weeks in the company without winning a belt. So when you factor all that in, it doesn't look good for Io Sky. I predict that she will lose the title. She's had one defence. It was against Selena Vega. It wasn't even a real defence. We all knew Selena Vega was not going to win that match. However, I can see Io Sky losing the belt when she does face either a Bianca Belair or a Charlotte Flair. Or who knows, maybe even a Bayley. That's what I think, unfortunately. Plus, she can't speak English, and that is always going to hurt you. Yeah, can she speak a little bit English? Yes, but let's be honest, man. If you can't speak English now and you don't have a manager, then the likelihood of you getting a long run is not good. You look at Asuka, you look at Nakamura, there's a reason why these people haven't been pushed the way they could have been, because they don't speak English, and after a while it does get a bit fucking boring, you know. You need to be able to speak, you need to be able to talk to be the top dog, and unfortunately for them, they can't. It's broken English at best. I do not think Io Sky will be the champion. It is what, right now, it is the 2nd of September. If she is the belt, if she's got the championship belt after Survivor Series, which I believe is on the 5th of November, I will be absolutely shocked. If she is the champion after Survivor Series, then it's a minor miracle. I will go that far. I believe she will lose the belt over the next couple of months, guarantee it, to Charlotte Flair or to Bianca Belair. Who knows, but it will be to one of them. Anyway, this match was garbage. So towards the end, we have Bayley wanting to use the belt to hit Shotzi with, but Io Sky looks a little bit reluctant to give her it. Charlotte Flair then comes out, so Io Sky goes after Charlotte with the belt in hand. Looks like she's going to hit Charlotte with the belt. Charlotte then slowly walks down, just plods down to where towards Io Sky is, and she throws a kick at Io Sky, and she misses her completely. Io Sky sells it like she's been hit in the face, but in reality there's about 4 feet between Io's face and Charlotte's foot, so what the fuck hit her? It must have been, I don't know, Little Jimmy or the Invisible Man. Maybe it was John Cena. Maybe Big Match John came back out and he was trying to, you just couldn't see him. Maybe Big Match John sucker punched Io Sky in the face, and that's why nobody's seen it, because it's, or maybe it was like, I don't know, Mayans MC, Elgin James, maybe it was written off screen for Io Sky to get punched by somebody, but it certainly was not Charlotte Flair that connected with the move. And then Charlotte comes up, she punches Bayley, and we see one of the worst DDTs for Shotzi Blackheart that I've ever seen. The lack of momentum, the lack of velocity, the lack of impact, this DDT. I mean, you look at Jake the Snake Roberts, when he hit a DDT, he planted you. Same way like Raven. I thought Raven had a great DDT. I thought Tommy Dreamer had a great DDT. You look at this DDT, and I mean, like, I've actually fell out of bed sometimes and landed on my head. harder than this Impact for sure. This is garbage, and the fact that this beat Bayley, I mean, the whole thing was a botch, so I guess it's makes sense for the finish of the match to also be a botch, the final move, but I mean, this sucked. Shotzi Blackheart sucks. She, for me, is the worst wrestler in WWE. I know I've said it a lot of times, and I stand by it. I think Shotzi Blackheart absolutely sucks. We then got a replay of what happened earlier with Cena and Jimmy Uso. The announcers hyped up the WWE Payback card. I tell you what, I don't enjoy the new SmackDown announce team with Kevin Patrick and Corey Graves. I just don't enjoy it. Speaking of Cameron Grimes, where is he? Where is Cameron Grimes since getting called up to SmackDown? He's done absolutely nothing. So then we move into the main event. Solo Sikoa with Paul Heyman to take on AJ Styles. Where the fuck Roman Reigns is, nobody knows. Part-time Roman Reigns. If you're going to be a part-timer, you need to be good. I'm sorry, Roman Reigns doesn't deserve to be a part-timer. And he's a part-timer with a belt. It's an absolute embarrassment, man. SmackDown will just get the Raw treatment. Remember, Raw didn't have a world champion for like a year and a half, and it sucked. And you could just tell that there was no main eventers. Even people that were main eventers on Raw, they didn't feel like main eventers because there was no world title belt to compete for. SmackDown's going to go the same way. You've got Roman Reigns now barely showing up. He might have the championship on SmackDown, but he's never there. And what's Bobby Lashley supposed to do? What's people that want to compete for the real belt? You look at Edge. Edge could have maybe had one last title run, but he couldn't because Roman Reigns is never there. So I just don't see how people are. LA Knight, people want LA Knight to be champion. The guy, how can the guy be champion if he can't get a title shot because the champion's never there? He can't. Make it make sense. Anyway, AJ versus Solo. I mean, it was an okay main event. AJ's going to go for the springboard phenomenal forearm. Jimmy Uso appears out of nowhere. He throws AJ off the top rope. AJ lands into the Samoan spike. 1, 2, 3. After the match, Jimmy hugs Solo. Solo doesn't like this. He gets up. He's about to give Jimmy the Samoan spike, but big fat Paul Heyman's telling him not to do it. And then Solo lets go of Jimmy. And that's how SmackDown goes off the air, with Jimmy looking at Solo and Heyman. And is this Jimmy Uso trying to get back into the bloodline? I don't know. I thought he wanted to save his brother from the bloodline. He wanted to save Jey Uso from the bloodline. But now he wants back into the bloodline. Does he realise that he's all alone? Does he realise that his brother's gone and that unless he gets back to the bloodline, he's just going to be Jimmy Uso? Who knows? But yeah, Jimmy raised the one finger in the air, and it would appear that Jimmy wants back into the bloodline. If this is the case, then why did he leave? I just think this whole bloodline thing is going on way too long now. This doesn't even make sense. Paul Heyman keeps saying we've got another 6 years of this. We do not, honestly. We do not have 6 years of this bloodline stuff. We shouldn't even have 6 more months. Hopefully they can wrap this up. As far as I'm aware, that they've done this all wrong. They should have started. I think they should have had Roman Reigns lose the belt while the whole bloodline was together. I don't know why they want to have everyone leave and then just have Solo and Reigns left. I don't get that. Everyone should have left when Roman Reigns lost the title. Maybe Roman Reigns loses the title, therefore he loses the power. But they've just done it the opposite way about. Anyway, I thought SmackDown was okay. It was nice to see John Cena back. I thought the main event was alright. I did enjoy the backstage segments with Jimmy Uso. I mean, it was alright. I thought The Miz and LA Knight was pretty good too. But Charlotte Flair fucking sucks. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10, guys. It was alright, but heading into Payback, not excited for this card whatsoever. Definitely one of the worst WWE Premium Live Event cards I've ever seen. Will the show deliver, or will it suck? We'll find out later tonight, guys. But until then, been Fog Wrestling. Thanks for watching, and peace.